Shyness. It's a word that carries a weight, a sense of being unseen, unheard. For many, it's a constant companion, a shadow that lingers on the edges of social gatherings, making even the simplest interactions feel like monumental tasks. The fear of judgment, the overwhelming self-consciousness, the crippling doubt. These are the hallmarks of a life lived in the quiet grip of social anxiety. It's a struggle that often goes unnoticed, dismissed as mere introversion or a lack of social skills. But the reality is far more profound. Shyness at its core is a thief of joy, stealing away opportunities for connection, growth, and self-discovery. It whispers doubts in our ears, telling us we're not good enough, not interesting enough, not worthy of being heard. The impact of this silent struggle extends far beyond awkward silences and missed connections. It seeps into every aspect of life, affecting relationships, career choices, and even our sense of self-worth. The inability to express ourselves freely can lead to feelings of frustration, isolation, and a deep longing for a life lived with more confidence and ease. I know this struggle intimately. For years, I was that shy girl hiding in the corner of the room, my heart pounding at the mere thought of speaking up. Social events were my personal torture chambers, filled with forced smiles and frantic internal monologues. I envied those who seemed to navigate the social world with effortless grace, their laughter echoing through the room while I remained silent, my own thoughts trapped within. One evening at a particularly daunting networking event, I found myself standing alone, clutching a lukewarm glass of wine, my usual anxieties threatening to overwhelm me. As I scanned the room, desperately searching for a familiar face, I caught a glimpse of a woman standing by the window. She was alone, much like myself, and there was something in her posture, a quiet confidence that drew me to her. Mustering all my courage, I walked over and introduced myself. To my surprise, she responded with warmth and genuine interest. We talked for almost an hour that evening, sharing stories, dreams, and vulnerabilities. It was a conversation that changed everything for me. For the first time, I realized that connection wasn't about being the loudest voice in the room, but about being authentically yourself. That night, a seed of hope was planted. It was the realization that I wasn't alone in my struggles and that even the most confident individuals have moments of insecurity. It was the understanding that true connection comes from a place of vulnerability, from sharing our authentic selves with the world, imperfections and all. Overcoming shyness is not about transforming overnight into a social butterfly. It's about embracing a journey of self-discovery, of pushing past our comfort zones, one small step at a time. It's about challenging those negative thoughts that whisper doubts in our ears and replacing them with affirmations of strength and worthiness. Start by identifying the situations that trigger your anxiety. Is it public speaking? Meeting new people? Once you've pinpointed your triggers, you can begin to develop coping mechanisms. These could include deep breathing exercises, positive self-talk, or even visualizing yourself succeeding in those situations. Remember, progress is not always linear. There will be days when you feel like you're taking 2 steps back for every 1 step forward. That's okay. It's all part of the process. Be kind to yourself, celebrate your victories no matter how small, and never underestimate the power of persistence. One of the most transformative discoveries in my journey has been the power of vulnerability. For years, I believed that vulnerability was synonymous with weakness. I thought that to be worthy of connection, I had to present a perfect, polished version of myself to the world. But in reality, it's our imperfections, our vulnerabilities that make us relatable, that forge genuine connections. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to share our authentic selves with others, we open the door for deeper, more meaningful relationships. We create a space for empathy, understanding, and acceptance, and in turn, we give others permission to do the same. Vulnerability is not about oversharing or seeking pity. It's about being brave enough to show up as our true selves, even when it's scary, even when we're not sure what the outcome will be. It's about trusting that our stories, our experiences have value, and that by sharing them, we can inspire, empower, and connect with others on a deeper level.